It's lost because we are prayerless, happen to be prayerless on that day, and are not able to maintain it. It's lost because we've lost our discernment on how to receive it and perceive it and so on. And these are things, I know I'm saying things now that maybe somebody really doesn't understand. But believe me, I have experienced what I'm talking about. And so you hold on to it, you guard it. Once it's upon you, you hold on to it. And everything affects that anointing on you. The music, the atmosphere, the spirit around you, the people in front of you, their ability to receive or reject affects that anointing. So that anointing upon you is dependent on much that surrounds you. And we'll talk about that. And I don't know if I will here tonight, but I think that is really something that's very important. But let me talk about the one thing that will cause you to lose it rapidly, and nobody wants that. Now, you remember a few weeks ago, and I think I repeated that to you last week or the week before. I talked about how Saul and Uzziah lost the power of God because they walked away from their calling. Remember that? Yeah. Now, that's one thing that will always cause you to lose it. That's walking away from what God called you to do. But here's something else. And something some precious believers just cannot get through their heads. The wrong people. The wrong people. The wrong people can cause you to lose what God has blessed your life with. I learned that a long time ago. Now, in 3 John, beginning at verse 9, we see one individual that John warns the church about. Here's one wrong people, one wrong preacher. I wrote unto the church, now this is John writing, John the apostle who walked with Christ. I wrote unto the church, but Diotrephes, who loveth to have the preeminence among them, receiveth us not. Now there was a man in the early church named Diotrephes. Diotrephes was not a good man. He was a pastor. He was a man with much authority from what we can see here. Had a lot of power over people, it seems. And here, John, the apostle, writes this man. Now, think about it. An apostle writing this man. Therefore, this man had some kind of position to be written to by John. You can't just be writing anybody. This man had some authority to be spoken to by John. I wrote unto the church, but Diotrephes, who loveth to have the preeminence among them, receiveth us not. Wherefore, if I come, I will remember his deeds, which he doeth, prating against us with malicious words, and not content therewith, neither doth he himself receive the brethren, and forbiddeth them that would, and casteth them out of the church. Beloved, follow not that which is evil, but that which is good. He that doeth good is of God, but he that doeth evil hath not seen God. Now, he's talking about a man who doesn't have a good report. Now, notice what this man has done. Write this down, will you? Number one, he loves to have the preeminence. In other words, he wants to be number one. Here's a preacher who talks about himself a lot. Wants to have the preeminence. Number two, receiveth us not. In other words, will not receive counsel from the apostles. Because this is John writing, and John is saying he receiveth us not. He's not one to listen to counsel. He's not one to take advice. He's not one to take correction. He's a know-it-all. Number three, Wherefore, if I come, I will remember his deeds, which he doeth, prating against us with malicious words. Attacks people publicly. Prating against us with malicious words. He was attacking the apostles publicly. That's why John says he's prating, or the word prating means speaking against us. With malicious words. He's attacking us. And not content therewith. In other words, this man is not satisfied with his attacks. He keeps attacking. He's full of hate. He's not content with the fact that he's attacking people because he believes it's his ministry. Now watch this. Neither doth he himself receive the brethren. He doesn't fellowship with anybody. He's an island. Neither doth he himself receive the brethren. He's not one who is willing to receive others into fellowship. He said, no, I don't need your fellowship. I don't need you to pray with me. No, I don't want you to agree with me. I can hear God on my own. And forbiddeth them that would. He forbids people from having fellowship with other believers. And casteth them out of the church. He throws people out of his church just because they disagree with him. Now, would you mind counting what I just gave you? Wait. Number one, he loves to be number one. Number two, he'll not receive the apostles or the council. Number three, he says he attacks people publicly. Number four, he's not content, so he keeps attacking. Number five, he will not have fellowship with anybody. Number six, he forbids his church or people to have fellowship with anybody. And number seven, if they dare disobey him, he just throws them out. Now, there's an example of an individual who can cause you to walk on the wrong path. And so the advice is, beloved, follow not that which is evil. He's calling this man evil. Of course he is. But that which is good. He that doeth good is of God, but he that doeth evil hath not seen God. All right, I'll be gracious. Let my wife and Michelle in. They were sitting there. They've been sitting there. Yeah, come on in. Come on, girls. I just had to finish this portion here. Come on, ladies. They just showed up just while I was teaching. They're cheering you, girls. All right. And if the frogs begin to talk, just turn your hand, stretch your hand there and rebuke them for me, girls. Thank you. Well, I told them when you came in, they should all cheer, and they did, and I love it. No, they've been sitting there a little while, but I had to finish this, and then I said, fine. I'm a nice guy. Now, the reason I read this is because I want you to understand the seriousness of what I'm talking about. Do you know that sometimes we do not recognize or realize the fact that wrong teaching can destroy what God is blessing us with?